President, should Americans be worried about nuclear war?
No.
Okay, President Biden says we should not worry about a nuclear war as President Putin in Russia threatens the West and puts his nuclear deterrent forces on alert. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy joins us right now from the D.C. area. Leader McCarthy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Well, that's the answer we wanted to hear. What do you think?
Well, I think we should always be prepared at any given time, whether it be tomorrow or the future. Putin is an evil man, and he's reckless. He's being pushed against the wall. His troops are not fighting the way he thought this was going to go out. So at any given time, we should always be prepared to make sure that never happens.
Absolutely. And I know that I believe you got a phone call from an American who's from Ukraine. You were either talking to them earlier today or yesterday, and they gave you an eyewitness account of what's going on there.
I was woken early this morning with a phone call with a Ukrainian American who had immigrated to America. They were speaking to their family back home, giving them the real story of what is happening, of these Russian troops coming into villages, killing women and children, putting people in front of tanks. Of course, she was an emotional and distraught, wondering what more could we do? And the challenge that we have is, it's the actions that we could have done before from this administration that would make sure today wasn't happening. We could have supplied the weapons to Ukraine. They're not asking for American troops. They're just asking for the ability to fight. In this phone call, what they were hearing is ordinary Ukrainians were going out and fighting, but they had no weaponry. They were taking the knives from their kitchen and outgunned in this process, but they're fighting for their freedom. And we could have been the individuals that could have deterred this from ever happening.
Leader McCarthy, we've heard stories about some of the oligarchs and billionaire pals of Putin. Now they're saying, hey, let's give peace a chance, and maybe this was a bad idea. That's because the United States and the world community is tightening the screws financially and in a bunch of ways to Russia. Had the sanctions been clearer before the invasion, maybe Mr. Putin would have thought twice.
I think there are a number of things, if you watch history, that we could have done. How we pulled out of Afghanistan gave Putin a wrong impression. Having a meeting with President Biden and giving him Nord Stream 2 right off the bat was a wrong impression to go. This is Putin. Remember the way he thinks, everything in black and white as he moves forward. He took Crimea with really no punishment. There are a lot of similarities to history in the past that we do not want to make sure repeats itself. If we had supplied weaponry early, had the administration not fought Ted Cruz's amendment to block Nord Stream 2 in the Senate, that probably would have been a deterrent to Putin, to think that he had the Biden administration fighting to keep his Nord Stream 2 against inside Congress and the Senate was a wrong approach to take. And now after he has entered Ukraine, killing innocent people, now we want to try to supply weapons? It's very difficult to get there. And how long does it take? When President Biden promised America he'd give them a free COVID test, 2 months later it'll arrive at your door. Well, in 2 months, can President Zelensky still be holding court and still fighting back if he doesn't have the weapons to fight himself?
Absolutely. And, you know, I was reading an article today, Leader McCarthy, that, you know, the United States is in part financing this invasion because his war is costing Putin something like $15 billion a day, but the United States is buying $1 billion worth of Russian oil every day. Had the president not pulled the plug on things like the Keystone and thought more about energy rather than his far left progressive environmentalist base, you know, we might not be in this pickle.
You're 100% correct, but we should take an action today. Republicans will put on the floor American energy independence against Russia. What we'll do in there is open up the pipeline, release those permits that this administration is holding to our LNG plants, open up the federal lands for exploration that you closed in this administration. Make it easier that America becomes energy independent, but also can supply to Europe the LNG that it does not have to buy from Putin and not fund Putin's war against us. Since this administration has come in, they have increased oil from Russia by 32%. And remember this, for everyone that's concerned with the environment like myself, American natural gas is 42% cleaner than Russian natural gas. So why shouldn't we be the individuals supplying it to the world?
Gee, I wonder what the president's going to say about your Republican proposal.
Well, let's watch how the Democrats vote today if they're really serious about doing something.
No kidding. All right, Kim McCarthy joining us today from the D.C. area. Sir, thank you very much.